demarcation dispute between the Australian Railway Union and those unions have agreed to reducing freight transport.
Yeah, it shows all the others in the background.
And bars to the ARU. The State Rail Authority today agreed to postpone the stand-down of about 1,500 employees for the third time. They say to give the New South Wales Labor Council the opportunity to end the dispute. The State Rail Authority's Chief Executive, Mr David Hill, said it would have no choice but to apply stand-down if the strike doesn't end on Thursday when the Hunter Valley drivers meet again.
$200 million a year less.
Before it round about 100 here in Australia, John Lloyd Green was presented with his award by former politician and organisation patron Mr Charlie Jones. John first took the award last year, with the organisation commending him on his career pronunciation. Better Here in Australia is a self-help organisation and has been encouraging local television announcers to make things easy for lip readers for the last
$1,000 damage. Firemen say there are no suspicious circumstances.
The
massive blaze erupted in the middle of a huge...
Wicketkeeper Wayne Phillips is out of the Australian team for the third cricket test starting in Adelaide tomorrow. Phillips, who failed a fitness test today because of an injury.
A large crowd was on hand to see what 3 years of art education has produced in the way of artistic talent. The work survived almost 100 students who are graduating from their Bachelor of Visual Art, Bachelor of Art Education and Diploma of Art courses. About 400 works were on display in the specialisations of painting, printmaking, film and video, sculpture, ceramics and textiles, and plant and wildlife illustration. Each work has been marked by college lecturers and goes towards the final assessment of students. There were so many works to be shown this year that the public display was split into 3 sections over the last month. This last student art show will be open to the public between 9 and 5 each day until Friday. The beams in the roof appear to have broken from the 7 The other side, the other side now. They were too heavy, and after a long fight, the structure finally came up. The pressure is pushing out the walls of the house, and rescue crews feared that at any moment the building would explode and stretch. Tiles were removed and breaks in summer. Two pensioners live in the house, 76-year-old Ray Oscar and the owner, 69-year-old Greg Smith. Unable to stay in the dangerous house, Mr. Smith and Mr. Audley spent last night asleep in their cars. Mr. Smith first heard the crack of roof supports at 3 p.m. on Monday afternoon.
They continued about midnight last night. Another one went crack again. And a bit of timber fell down from the moulding onto the floor.
You couldn't have slept very well last night knowing all that?
No, I didn't. Did not.
What are you going to do now? It seems like your house might be wrecked. Where are you going to live?
I don't know where I'll live. I don't know. Don't know where to go.
Drivers Union, the AFULE, and the Australian Railway Union resumed talks at 5 this afternoon at the New South Wales Labor Council, along with the State Rail Authority and Transport Minister, Mr Unsworth. If no agreement is reached this evening, it's likely the 700 striking Hunter enginemen will vote at a mass meeting in Newcastle tomorrow for the strike to continue. This will force the State Rail Authority to start standing down from midnight tomorrow more than 4,000 employees who have had no work to do since the strike began. While the main industry remains at a stalemate, the Hunter Valley's coal industry continues to suffer. 22 coal ships waited outside Newcastle Harbour today, unable to dock and be loaded. In an effort to meet demand, trucks continue to freight coal by road. The council, made up of 11 medical specialist groups within New South Wales, put forward their settlement proposals in the form of a 5-point plan. But today, at Rankin Park, Mr Mulock said the dispute was no closer to being resolved.
Will the state government accept the solution proposed by the Council of Procedural Specialists?
No, it's not really very much of what they've said to do with the state government. They're on about philosophy of Medicare in relation to one item about a commitment for an inquiry into standards, management and morale of public hospitals. I've already referred questions of standards and management to the Medical Services Committee, which I established as the consultative body arising out of the previous elements of this dispute.
So the dispute is no closer to being settled?
Oh, that letter does nothing to move towards a dispute. What it's silent about is what the issue of the dispute is really, and that's money. That letter remains silent about the claims for more money and can only be seen as yet another element of the disparate natures of the medical profession and the difficulties that there are in solving a dispute of this type.
During Mr Mulock's visit to public hospitals in the Hunter today, the allocation of funds to the region under the Make Health More Caring scheme was also announced. A fifth of the $2 million set aside for the state has been allocated to the Hunter. From the Mothers and Babies Improvement Fund, Belmont Hospital will receive $64,000, Maitland $70,000 and Muswellbrook $50,000. From the Accident and Emergency Fund, $60,000 will go to Cessnock Hospital, $50,000 to the Mater and $87,000 to the Royal Newcastle Hospital. $53,000 has been set aside to go towards the establishment of a country community health centre, while $250,000 has been allocated to the Wall's End Geriatric Assessment Unit.
At yesterday's meeting of the striking train drivers, it became obvious that the more the State Rail Authority tries to solve the manning dispute, the deeper becomes the rift. The drivers were angry at what they say were attempts by the authority to widen the dispute to other areas of the state. The AFULE had agreed to allow one shipment of coal a week from a mine in Gunnedah and one train per week to carry perishable fruit from the north to Sydney. The drivers say the SRA tried to push through more trains than agreed upon. As a result, there will be no more concessions to the coal industry, now seriously affected by the strike. The chairman of the Australian Coal Association, Mr. Bruce Thompson, who is currently on a tour of Japan and Korea, says our overseas customers are already looking for a more reliable supplier. Meanwhile, the SRA has again deferred standing down workers, pending another application for a full-bench arbitration commission hearing of the dispute.
The rail site has proved to be a field day for the truckers' companies, but for the coal loader and the shipping companies who are losing $12,000 a day, the keep knocking the check.
The Kooragang coal loader is not equipped to receive coal by road transport.
So a number of adaptations have had to be made.
Firstly, we've had to clear our pads so that we could have room to allow vehicles to come into them, which took a little time. And we've also had to build a facility down there to load onto the conveyor belts, a Toll Chadwick loader actually it is.
Mr. Stone says only 16,000 tonnes are being delivered by road each day, which is about a quarter of a million tonnes. As a result, ships have to wait longer than loaded, and that's where the money is being lost.
KCL will pick up the revenue again because the coal will come through here eventually. The real losers are the shippers because their coal's sitting at the mines and their vessels are outside, so we're losing in the short term, but we'll get it back. The shippers won't.
12 months ago today, the company
purchase of this building was something that we had close to our hearts. We wanted to have a permanent presence in it.
Achieved this in record time.
Have a long and illustrious the gas demand for New South Wales.
From coal to natural gas in Curry, Cessnock and Maitland. And now a new office in High Street. Particularly unveiled by the member for Maitland, Alan Ross, today. The Carbon Gas Company also built a separate smelter at Curry.
Certainly there will be less emissions from the plant here. I understand that it will mean that something like 20,000 tonnes a year less of oil will be consumed. That will mean less sulphur dioxide emitted into the atmosphere, and obviously that is a good thing for the local environment.
Alcon is in the process of converting its oil-fired furnaces to natural gas. It's also installed 2 new natural gas holding furnaces at a cost of $1.5 million. These furnaces use as much gas in 1 hour as an average household uses in a year. They hold 47 tons of molten aluminium at 900 degrees. They'll form an integral part of the company's third hotline, which is hoped to commission sometime next year.
Doctor, the association has accused you of breaking the code of ethics. Do you think you have?
The Dental Association of New South Wales has expelled me for allegedly breaching the code of ethics. On technical grounds, I guess I must say I have, but what they have really kicked me out for is because I've been offering a discount to the public.
Well, surely that's advertising, and dentists aren't allowed to do that.
That's correct. There's no way that I would want to break the Dental Act or break the law. I don't advertise myself. A company called Dental Card, of which I'm a promoter, does the advertising, and the individual dentists involved, and there are some 30 in New South Wales, don't advertise themselves at all.
Isn't that really perhaps a sly way of getting around it, and in fact really what you see yourself as doing is challenging the establishment?
That's right. There's been no change to the Dental Act or the Code of Ethics for a long time. It means that dentists can't tell patients about the advances in dentistry, or if they want to offer a discount, they can't tell that to their patients. And dentists are hurting because of it. The dentists are quiet and they would like to see more patients, but they can't tell people about it.
Well, what's your next step now? Are you going to challenge the association, and if so, on what grounds?
I'll be looking into that on Monday with my lawyers. I will definitely be challenging it. I'm going to fight this because I believe it's the public that are going to lose because of it. If a plan like this fails or is stopped by the Dental Association, it means that the public of New South Wales won't have the chance of going to dentists who are prepared to offer them a discount.
go and do a job, eh? Come on.
Newcastle under-17s, the defending champions, went through the 2 days undefeated to win their division quite comfortably from Singleton, who did very well considering their inexperience. The team includes one state player in Rachel Harmon, who plays short shots for the Blues, but catches with the Newcastle team. Newcastle made it a double in the under-15s, as they also went through without loss. In fact, they skittled the opposition, scoring 112 runs and conceding only 1. The Central Coast team placed second. The Upper Hunter team, based at Exchange, took the under-13s title from the Newcastle team. A top performance indeed from the youngsters from the Valley. The winning side in each division will travel to Perth in April for the New South Wales state title. 13 local girls will travel with coach Ian Lewis to California on New Year's Day for a month's intensive training.
The new set of lights has been installed at the Nelson and Carter Street intersections to accommodate the volume of traffic passing through Hawthorne and the large number of vehicles coming into Nelson Street. The lights were switched on by Mr Edwin Thomas, who was mayor of Hawthorne until 1937.
Henley down to the bus terminus, and this will be a big help to them.
It took 1 month to install the lights, including roadworks, at a total cost of $70,000. Stopping regulations along Cowper Street have been changed to accommodate the traffic lights.
If we lived in the best of possible worlds, then the ABC should be making regional programs. We don't live in the best of possible worlds. We don't have the configurations built into this first generation of the satellite to make it possible, and we don't have the money to make it possible. Consequently, we have to live with what we have. If all the good citizens of Newcastle would get onto their local politicians and insist that the ABC should be abundantly funded, then it'd be a different matter. But I do speak as a member of the board. I was away when the initial decision was made. That decision was made with great heartburning.
Well, are you saying that the politicians should lobby more?
No, I'm not saying that. I wouldn't tell any politician what a politician ought to do. I would say, though, that the funding of the ABC is quite crucial, and the ABC needs all the friends that it can get. But equally, of course, the ABC has the obligation to show the community how important we are and what a service we do for the community.
Is there any chance that at a later date this regional news service may be reintroduced?
Yes. After all, the new generations of satellites will be able to do many things that the present one can't do. The present one, I suppose, is the equivalent of the T-model Ford. Let's hope all of these things will become much more economical, and of course there would be some rethinking if and when that happens, and if and when we have the funds to do it.
To this section of the State Highway 23 on Charlestown Road. The road, which is used extensively by holiday traffic to the north, will have 4 lanes completed for use over the Christmas and New Year's holidays. At Charlestown, traffic was interrupted for 2 hours today. DMR workers constructed a completed lane section for vehicles turning right at Torres Road. Over the Christmas period, there was 1 lane completed at and 2 more lanes. A spokesman for the DMR said the second Charlestown lane and the third one more is completed by the